What's up, everybody? This is Dave. I'm so excited today. I'm here in New Orleans for Overlook Film Festival 2026. This is my first time coming to this film festival. I've wanted to for years, and finally I'm here. I get to be a member of the press, check out the films, make content about it. Couldn't ask for, a better experience, but also it's so beautiful out here in New Orleans. Got an absolutely beautiful day. It's a little windy where I am right now, but I'm loving all the sights. I've been here once before. I've wanted to come back for a while. I just love it out here, and let me just show you why. So my big hope here is to provide content, not just on the films, but on all the activities that they got going on. I'm not gonna be able to do everything because, you have to pick and choose, but I'm hoping to get some interviews with some filmmakers, check out a few new films, hopefully get to do a few fun things in between. Other than that, like there's a parade coming up to open everything up that I'm going to be trying to get in on. And it's going to be led by John Kazir, the Crypt Keeper. So I'm very, very excited. Unfortunately, I'm only doing 2 out of the 4 days of this. So my goal is to do as much as possible in that time period, but we will see how that goes. So Overlook Film Festival, let's get into it. New Orleans, so much to check out. The streets just have so much going on. Just this. Take a little side street and suddenly there's an art display. Look at these. All artists. Very cool. Of course, you can't go to New Orleans and not go to Jackson Square. I feel like this site is so iconic. Photographed so frequently. Absolutely beautiful. Such a gorgeous day out today too. It's pretty awesome to have the opening day of this festival be on such a beautiful day. Being able to kind of just walk around New Orleans a little bit before everything starts up and just kind of check out the sights and get the energy of this city. It's just contagious, And they got the horse and carriages over here for people to take a little sightseeing tour on. That'd be a nice little thing. They should do some horse and carriage rides for people that are in the festival. All dressed up, bloodied. Beautiful. We got the Crypt Keeper leading the parade. Streets are crowded. Everyone's excited for Overlook. This is a great start to this event. This parade is a great idea to kick everything off. It's getting warm out here, but it's worth it. The excitement from this crowd for this festival is amazing. Shout out to Shudder for doing this parade. John Kazir is making some announcements that we can't hear back here. Must be good though. But he did announce Tales from the Crypt will be streaming on Shudder, so that is why he is here repping Shudder. And everybody is feeling it. It's pretty awesome. Making some new friends, talking horror with everybody. What a way to spend the day. Couldn't ask for better. Streets are still crowded all the way around. It's been a lot of fun. We're coming up to the theater at some point. That is the end point for this, where it all is going to be taking place, the headquarters of the event. So they started us at the double club, and then we end in the HQ of the event. But there's going to be two main areas where most of the screening is going to happen: Uptown and then the headquarters, which is cool. So everything's kind of close together. You're not scrambling all around, New Orleans to get to the places. But, so this is what you guys are saying, like parades everywhere. Parades on parades.
Parades every day.
That's great.
I know. Just pick a parade, any parade. Enjoy.
Pretty cool. We got some of the filmmakers here in the parade as well. Some of the actresses. I saw some of the famous YouTubers that everybody knows and loves. See Dead Meat James over there. That was Lynn Lowry? Yeah. We spotted Lynn Lowry in the parade, and the one she's with is a filmmaker too. Yep.
She's about 4 people ahead of us.
Got some Fangoria crew up here. Demi, James, and Chelsea. It's still going. Such a awesome idea to do a parade. Such a New Orleans thing. So much fun.
And actually used Chucky's eyeballs in the curtain. And that's why they see death the same way.
Getting your group photo. With the car. And the car. Yeah.
Screaming and screaming debut of Tales from the Crypt is finally happening on Shudder. Kitties, if you have the skin. Enjoy the film, spoils the mood, may all your screams come true.
So we are here at the Britannia Theater in Uptown, and people are already lined up to see Faces of Death. And this is kind of the scene out here in the front, but the line is actually around the building. They have 2 lines, one for press, one for general passes, and it goes down the street, as you can see. I'm going to be actually doing a little press junket before the movie and then going in with the press pass. So luckily I don't have to stand in too long of a line, but this is very exciting. We got the writer and director are supposed to be here for an interview, we're hoping. And this is kind of the setup tonight. Got the screen, so we'll see how it goes.
Doesn't qualify to your film in relation to the original Faces of Death, and then also to the commentary your film is making on internet culture, algorithmic trends, remaking things.
I mean, I think for us, the movie is really like about Faces of Death. I think that, like, you know, if you were like literally going to kind of remake Faces of Death, it would be like a contemporary snuff film compilation, which it would be a very different thing. I think for us, like, what we were really interested in when we were approached to do this project was this question of like, where is Faces of Death in, you know, in the modern era? And I think it's a recognition that Faces of Death is everywhere now. It's in all of our phones. You know, this thing that used to be this kind of like haunted VHS cassette that you could like barely get your hands on, you can now watch any time of day that you so please. And that feels like a really like scary, you know, shift in terms of like.
All right, everybody, I'm here with Daniel Goldhaber, the director of the new Faces of Death, which I'm about to check out. I've been able to check out a preview of the film, and one of the things I think is interesting is the idea of like wanting to be shocked, right? So like a lot of people, especially the horror community, have had a tendency of like wanting to see how far they can push it to the max. And I feel like that theme comes up a little bit in this film, especially when there's a scene where her boss says, give the people what they want, right? What's your thoughts about that? People just kind of wanting to, you know, see how far things can go, and is that actually like a detriment to our society today, in your opinion?
In terms of the images that we're making, not really. I think that, like, you know, humans have been obsessed with kind of the public spectacle of death forever. You know, we used to have public hangings and people would show up, and that was kind of like Saturday entertainment. And frankly, I would much prefer that, you know, people are going to see like a Quentin Tarantino movie or In a Violent Nature than like we're hanging people in the public square. That actually feels like a much healthier way to indulge with like a very fundamental human impulse. You know, to me, I think the thing that the movie is concerned with is not necessarily like the proliferation of violent imagery, but the proliferation of actual violence on the internet. And it's specifically concerned with the idea that if you live in an attention economy where, you know, we say that the more attention you have as a person, the more value you have as a person, then, you know, we say that a great way to generate a ton of attention is to go and commit an act of mass violence. You know, social media companies have created the incentives whereby people are like, well, if I go commit an act of mass violence, I'll have a lot of value as a person. So it's almost inevitable that these acts happen. And so one of the things that I'm trying to kind of demonstrate in the film is the way that, like, yeah, somebody could kind of like take the way that social media works, start remaking Faces of Death and actually killing people, and like probably win as far as they were concerned. And that's really disturbing. But that's ultimately something that's totally changeable. Like the way that social media the way that social media algorithms run, like these are things that are designed by people. You know, these are designed to addict us to our phones. And we know that that has massive real world consequences. And I think I hope that people maybe walk out of the movie with a little bit of a different understanding or a different perspective on that phenomenon.
I love that. One last thing. So I have a personal like Faces of Death moment, like seeing the film for the first time, my reaction to it, wondering, was that real? Do you have a Faces of Death moment?
I mean, in terms of the actual tape? Or or a film kind of like similar where it kind of just made you think, what did I just watch? Was that real? I mean, in terms of what did I just watch, was that real? Not really. You know, I definitely had like my fair share of like super traumatizing film experiences when I was a kid. Everything from like Alien to Requiem for a Dream. Like, you know, I definitely like fucked myself up with stuff. But I think that, you know, part of the other thing that the movie's about is the fact that most of my encounters with the kinds of images that, you know, are in a movie like Faces of Death were like encountering actual death on the internet, you know, encountering like, you know, ISIS beheadings, the murder of Daniel Pearl. Like these were things that were disseminated kind of everywhere all of a sudden, all over the globe. And I think that, like, you know, that really, like, you don't have people who are in their early 30s or, you know, early 20s being like, yeah, I saw the VHS tape, because like we had a different introduction to that stuff, and an introduction that I think is like way more disturbing in terms of the implications for kind of, you know, what media is doing to us these days.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much, Daniel, and good luck tonight on the preview. Thank you.
Clap for him because we love him. He's currently on set making the next movie by the director of Obsession. Did you guys like Obsession? But the other is here, and we are so honored to bring to the stage right now writer-director Daniel Goldhaber.
Hello. Honestly, I have been super, no shade to like any other screening we've done, but I think this is the screening that will probably mean the most to me of this movie. Both because I know what an extraordinary audience and community that you guys have built with Overlook over the last few years, and what that's done for horror and for boundary pushing horror and also just for again the community and immersive aspect of horror filmmaking, which is one of the things I love so much about it. But more importantly, we shot this movie in New Orleans. And basically every single member of our crew that could make it tonight is here tonight. I think over 30 people, and I just have to say, like, I've been making movies for most of my like conscious life, and the experience of being on set and making this movie was like the great privilege of my career. I got to work with so many incredible people, and not just like super talented people who are, just like, and you'll see all of their work on screen, but just like really amazing people that, I think are still all super dear to me and super dear to the other people that worked on this film. And that is also, New Orleans is an incredible place to just be. It's an amazing city. It's a city that's like exploding with art and creativity and artists, and it was really an amazing experience to work here. And it's obviously been a very challenging time for the New Orleans and like Louisiana film industry, and I think that is like a great tragedy and something that like personally, like, if anybody here is a filmmaker or knows filmmakers, like, come make movies here, please. It is the best place in the United States to work. This movie would not be even a shred of what it is without the people here who made it. And I'm so glad that most of them get to see the movie for the first time tonight, and alongside all of you. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be back, and I'm very excited to talk to you at the end of the movie about what you've all seen. So have fun, and I'll see you in like 90 minutes. Yo.
You guys like it? I just want to thank you so much for coming and bringing the film. I know you're opening tomorrow, so please tell everyone you know to go see it.
Yeah, this movie like really almost didn't come out, and if it's like a big hit, that will, I think, be a good thing for movies, and for me personally. So, thank you so much for being here. This has been like an amazing screening. I'm so glad to be back in New Orleans.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so I just got out of seeing Faces of Death. I'm feeling pretty good right now because that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that movie a lot more than probably initially I expected, but after seeing a preview of it, I kind of knew what I was getting into a little bit more and knew I was going to enjoy it. But yeah, great performances, just solid storyline, kind of tapping into so much issue in the world today with social media, internet, just kind of taking violence too far, the whole idea of internet sleuthing and things like that, and the struggles that can cause. So, all right. I just got out of Faces of Death, and I am feeling really good. That movie was very entertaining. I enjoyed it quite a bit, probably more than I initially expected I was going to after seeing the preview. I didn't know I was going to enjoy it because I liked the storyline. But, just kind of seeing the full thing, I am, feeling very satisfied with that. I thought that was a really good movie. I know there's going to be people who struggle with the fact that it's called Faces of Death and it's not technically a remake, but I think it's a really interesting idea of how they tried to modernize and identify like what today's struggles look like. Because obviously, you know, we don't have that idea of like VHSs and are they real? That's not a thing anymore. So now it's more of like this internet world and how we're navigating, how we view that, and like, you know, the idea that we can see people murdered on TV and kind of not bat an eye at it. And just there's just so many different themes, so much to get into on that. So I'm looking forward to kind of doing a more in-depth review of this film. But I will encourage people to go see it. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. And you know, I think there's a lot here to kind of consider and to mull over after you watch the film, and you know, hopefully after seeing the Q&A and stuff, that kind of raises more thoughts for you to consider after seeing it. Another cool thing was obviously I was able to talk to Daniel about the film a little bit before, and then he did the Q&A after. But then I also got the new Fangoria, and his signature is on there, which was really cool. So yeah, this was a good night. Got to see Faces of Death. I'm really happy about that. And tomorrow I'll check out a few more films and see what the day brings. We are on day 2 of New Orleans Overlook Film Festival. But before we get things started, I am starting my day here at Cafe du Monde. I'm not at the original, I think, or like the main location. I'm at one of like the offshoots. Just didn't feel like driving into that crazy area today and trying to find parking. But this space looks rather old as well, or at least the facade does. So we got Cafe du Monde. For those who don't know, they are known for their chicory style coffee. So if you don't know, they are known for their chicory style, I think that's how you say it, style coffee, and these classic beignets, which are super delicious. I've had them before. I do love beignets, and they do them right. This is the spot that's probably the most well known for this style of pastry. I mean, essentially, these are just like puff pastries, I guess you would say, with a lot of powdered sugar, but there's just something a little special about them here. And that coffee, like I said, I'm hoping I'm saying it right. It's that chicory style coffee. This is the Cafe au Lait iced, which comes over milk, but it's just got a great flavor to that coffee. It's a little stronger, I think, which I love a good strong coffee. This is how we are going to start the day today, getting things kicked off right before the festival. I did do the short review for Faces of Death yesterday, but I was so tired by the end of that night. I didn't sleep at all the night before because of issues with the hotel room. So I don't know I hope my review even made sense, but I really enjoyed that film. I definitely recommend checking it out, and I will keep you guys posted on the films I'll be seeing today and my thoughts on it. A little pit stop before the festival today. This gorgeous abandoned mansion right here. Years ago, there used to be a little antique toy shop attached to it. Everything seems to be pretty empty and boarded up now, but still a very pretty building. Another very cool aspect to this house is the abandoned cars all over here. It's like a car graveyard in the back, which is really cool. Kind of hard to get this, but you got the old Coke machine in the back. Definitely a lover of cars. They're everywhere on this property. Just gotta love all the overgrowth on the building and on the steps here. It's very cool, but I love the little gate up here. You can just imagine what this probably looked like when it was still a functioning building. Of course, no mansion is complete without a beautiful water fountain. They got some old cherubs on this bad boy. Yes, very cool. Yes, I know there's a window open, but it goes nowhere. Just in case anybody was wondering, this is kind of the inside of the house here. Not a whole heck of a lot to see. But again, when this was a functioning place, this was probably very beautiful. But unfortunately has been just ransacked and yeah, spray painted, all that stuff. Oh, checking out the second floor, tons of graffiti everywhere. Looks like things were starting to get put together to probably get rid of, do something with, and then for whatever reason, the process looks like it came to a halt because things are just everywhere. It's kind of a little mixed match of some older things and then some newer things. Like I said, just everything is kind of everywhere at this point. Even a little pool in the bedroom for playtime. You know, a lot of this stuff gets thrown around as people come into these buildings too. So some of it could be also people going through their stuff. But I don't think all of it in this case. I do think that they were probably getting ready to do like an estate sale or something like that. Various and random finds here. We got a drum set, record player, part of a Christmas tree, some paintings, just everything. This is a kid's room. Oh, there's two playrooms. So closer look at the playroom. Lots and lots of toys, just scattered all around. Everybody's remains just all over the place. Well, I think that's probably about the extent of this stop. So on to the next. Probably the next thing will be the festival, so we will see you there unless we make a pit stop on the way. On the way out, you know, going through this and just walking through this car graveyard as we leave. And it's pretty incredible just seeing all these cars just left here. All these antiques. Grown over. God, I don't even know. There's so many cars on this property. I mean, this is just a few. They are literally everywhere. So we're out here on the streets of New Orleans, checking out Voodoo Authentica right here. The voodoo store for everything voodoo, I guess. Let's check it out. I'm inside of Voodoo Authentica right now. Decided I wanted to take a little pit stop. Check out some voodoo stuff while you're in New Orleans. What better way to celebrate New Orleans than check out some voodoo stuff. We got some Marie Laveau dolls here. Very cool. All sorts of things. We got some gator heads, some sage bundles. These dolls are interesting. Now, I got super interested in this kind of stuff when I did a little deep dive onto hoodoo, which I know obviously is different than voodoo. And hoodoo is essentially, a practice that's about protection. And I always found that interesting. And, it was something that, was taken from Africa and during slavery times. Obviously, that became something that was much needed, protection and all those things, But definitely, you know, a lot of stigma and thought processes around it. And now it's obviously turned into more of a big touristy trap, but still very fascinating and interesting. And this place has a lot of stuff packed into a very small store. The store is actually deceiving how much area it has. I'm surprised. Look at these. You got a voodoo buddy. Some of these African, they're called African, I'm not even going to try to say that, but these are little like dolls, or I don't even know what necessarily to call them. A St. Patrick's Day voodoo doll. Excellent. I love the African masks. Very cool. I have a couple actually at home. Just love all the different culture stuff. Lady Love. I think we can figure out why she's what they're going for with that doll. Candles. It's pretty amazing how much stuff they have set up here. I love this little display here. Thanks and blessings. How cool. That's a big gator head right there. Little Day of the Dead figurines. Which I would love to be down here during Halloween season, Day of the Dead. New Orleans is actually known for having a really large parade, which I would love to be here for, but it's always very close to Halloween, and obviously we have a lot going on in our area, so it's hard to get away during that time. So, Voodoo Authentica, definitely a cool little shop to check out if you're in the area. Lots of stuff to look at. Lots of figurines, all the things for the root work, ceremonies, and just pretty much anything along the lines of voodoo, hoodoo, all that stuff. Lots of things here to look at. Their wall of blessed potion oils. Money and good luck. We got love potions, happiness, fertility, even doing well in school. Enemy be gone. Very cool. Very cool. Just walking around the streets of New Orleans is such a cool experience. The architecture is so unique. There's just stuff going on everywhere, people everywhere. There's nothing quite like it. I know it's not for everybody, but if you enjoy people watching, history, partying, food, but also like tradition and culture, I think New Orleans is one of the best spots for that, because I mean there's just so much. I mean, it's got dark history, it's got any kind of history that you could be interested in. It's here, and it's also just like such a cultural hub. You really can't beat it. I'm a bicycle. Interesting people. Just like I said, the decor everywhere, the architecture, it's just so uniquely specific to New Orleans. So we are here at Overlook again. I just got out of Obsession. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. That film was absolutely nuts, and I loved it. Can't really recommend it enough. I really think that this one is going to be a big hit when that releases. So now I'm just here waiting for doing some press for Larry Fessenden, and then I'm going to watch his newest release, Trauma or Monsters All. So excited for that. And this being my final day here, going to try and see whatever I can and do whatever I can, because This just all goes by so fast. But so far, it's been amazing. I can't wait to do this again next year. This will definitely be a festival I'm going to try and do whenever possible. And yeah, if you ever get the chance, I say definitely come to this. It's a lot of fun, packed schedule, lots of activities, or you can just watch films. Pretty much whatever you want to do, you can do at this film festival. Gotta love the little decor here. And this is the step and shoot, where they do the press junket before the film, and then during the film, they'll have, a Q&A, well, an intro and then a Q&A following it. That's pretty much how last night's went for Faces of Death, which again, I had such a good time. It was a late night. Checking out Obsession today was good. I got a little time. Let me just talk about Obsession a little bit. While I was watching that film, I was starting to think how, this is exactly what The Monkey should have been, tone-wise, plot-wise, maybe even, it really mixed the horror and the comedy really well. It had like dark humor, uncomfortable moments. It was just really, really enjoyable. The acting was phenomenal. The main actor, the girl who plays the, obsessive one in it, just such a phenomenal job. The way that she plays that obsessed character is just so freaking effective and creepy. I really, really enjoyed it. I can't wait for people to check this out because I think that it's going to get a very overwhelming response, especially with I think about film like Companion, some of these movies about relationships or together and just how well they've been doing recently. I think that is something people want to see. They want to see these messed up relationships, and this film really captured it. And being careful what you wish for. Is it worth having love if it's not real? And all the everything else. It just is such a good film. I really can't even articulate just stepping out of it right now. I'm still trying to put my thoughts together about it, but I'm really excited for people to check this out. So, Obsession, make sure you check it out. You'll really enjoy it, I think. So, about to talk to Larry Fessenden pretty soon, but the thing with this new film, Trauma or Monsters All, is this is a culmination of previous projects all coming together. So I can't wait to talk to him about that and the process of that and how many years in the making this has been. Was this always his idea? I just want to ask him all those questions. So basically he made Depraved, which was a Frankenstein type movie. He made Habit, which was a vampire movie, and he made a Wolfman movie. So they're all coming together in this one, and I think that's just so cool to think about how projects that you've made over the years can carry over and spill into one feature length, just bringing all the different projects together, but also different parts of your life, because each time you make a film, that's like a period of time in your life that you dedicated to that. So kind of revisiting that feels like an interesting thought to me, revisiting and bringing characters that you created years ago at different times of your life. What's it like revisiting those characters? So yeah, I'm interested to talk to him about that a little bit and to check out this film. And he's obviously a filmmaker, but also he's recently been in Good Boy. He played the father, the grandfather. He's acted in a number of projects recently, so he's been very active for many years, just in various roles. So he's kind of a cult legend or an icon in the genre. So that's exciting to be able to get some time to meet with him and talk about this a little bit. Little photo shoot with the stars of the film. Larry Fessenden's over there as well. Little group photo. Larry's having a good time. It's fun to see.
Kind of now just our team. Cool. Every person essential. Nice. Everyone in focus.
I might, so I'm going to take one with everybody in a row for a few, and then maybe we could do like a tiered situation.
Whatever you want.
In the back, you can just like kind of lean forward a little bit.
Getting every pose. Love it.
Should we flex our muscles?
Look, Maxie, come on, boys, look, Maxie. Hey.
This whole experience has been really cool for me. You know, being here as part of the press and just being able to hang out while, you know, this close to the filmmakers and actors and stuff is just, it's a really cool feeling, kind of surreal actually. You know, nobody really bats an eye that I'm just sitting here taking photos, video, whatever. I'm loving it. You know, truly feel like hard work pays off, and Brandon and I have definitely been able to experience some of that payoff. I am here with legendary filmmaker Larry Fessenden, and we are about to check out Trauma or Monsters All. And Larry, I was thinking about this on the way here. This project is a culmination of your 3 previous projects over the years, right? What is the earliest one of those? What year does that date back to?
Habit. Made in like 94, but it came out in 96 or 97. It's one of those weird things I don't quite know. It took so long to bring it out.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you about. So having those 3 characters come together in this film.
Yeah.
That's like 3 different parts of your life if you think back to when you made each of those films. What was it like revisiting those characters after all these years?
Well, I have great affection for my Frankenstein, played by Alex Bro, and my werewolf, played by Alex Hurt. So that was easy because those are iconic monsters. The strange challenge was like, how does the Sam character fit in? But there was something, a little light bulb went off in my head about how that would happen in this modern world, and so that's kind of the thing that triggers the story. So that was fun.
So out of those 3, would you say the monster from Depraved, is that your kind of like your favorite one?
Well, this is what's funny, is that you start realizing my allegiance when you see the movie. Each monster is kind of an expression of sort of the degradation of our society. And, you know, they're all brutal, brooding creatures at this point. They're rejected by society. So I still have the most affection for the Frankenstein archetype, because he's, of course, the most misunderstood. Whereas the werewolf is creating some trouble when he's a monster. And then the vampire, I think, has his own... Anyway, that's what's fun about the movie. I'm sort of exploring how these monsters sort of reverberate.
You know, the monster, I think, is one of those characters that just evokes so much sympathy because he truly is abandoned, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes him such a sympathetic monster, and that's why I think we all kind of connect with him, right?
Oh, without a doubt. And that's really my whole angle on this, is a great sympathy for the plight of the, you know, the forgotten, the marginalized. And that's why monsters can speak to so many different people. The truly marginalized, but also just the marginalized within all of us. So I'm always sympathetic to the monsters, and that's why my movies aren't overly scary. They're more sort of these melancholy reflections on our society and how we don't get along.
Now, you've been working in the genre for years now. I mean, we recently saw you in Good Boy.
Yeah.
But I mean, you stayed so active doing in various projects and roles, right? What keeps you going? What keeps you in it? Like, how do you continue to find the passion for the genre and for filmmaking?
I love the art of cinema. I love the idea of putting shots together. I love the rhythm of the filmmaking. So that's actually what's propelling me forward. So I just can't get enough of that. Now, the business, on the other hand, I have no time for, and I'm running out of steam with that, because you're actually required to reinvent yourself constantly. Now we have the shorter attention span, you have all of these things. So my movie is actually sort of a eulogy to the idea of the feature film, where you get to know the characters, you spend some time with them. So it stands as maybe a mic drop moment, but I'll always be involved in some way on the fringes.
And I love that thought because I hadn't really put much thought into that, how films have changed over the years. We do. We have shorter attention spans. You have to have faster action. The slow burn of the 70s isn't something that's going to fit in theaters nowadays, right?
Well, just a warning to anyone listening. This is the slow burn tradition. So let me just say, you know, even if I have to hold a mantle at the end of the line here, that's what this is.
Great. What do you want people to know about this film? Because we're going to see the world premiere. No one has checked it out.
True.
What's the most exciting part of being able to show it to this audience today? And what do you hope that people who watch this will know so they can get some excitement about coming to see it?
I just hope they find some affection. You don't have to have seen the earlier movies. I particularly design it so that you're having a sense of like, what is this history everyone's talking about? But I don't need you to have seen the others, but then might invite you to have a look at them. So whatever, I'm inviting you into my world, and otherwise I could just say we're sort of going to do a slow build, get it out to the public when we can, and just see what happens to it.
Awesome. Larry, thank you so much for taking this time. I cannot wait to check out this film. Hope we stay in touch.
I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. All right, so that was Larry on this film. That was pretty amazing to be able to talk to him and ask him those questions. I am so excited now to see this film. I'll check in at the end, let you know my thoughts as I've been doing, but Trauma or Monsters All world premiere happening tonight here at the Prytania Theater at the Canal, not the one I was at last night. So I'll let you know. Thanks, everybody.
I mean, there's not much more to say. Fantastic introduction, and we don't want to drag this on all night, so let's just get to the picture. So thanks, and do join us in Theater 9 if you're so inclined. Otherwise, have a great evening, and thanks for checking out Trauma or Monsters All.
Silence your cell phone.
So I got to check out Trauma or Monsters All, the Larry Fessenden world premiere, and I gotta say I absolutely loved it. It was such a fun film. Definitely, as he described when I got to talk to him, slow burn, but it's like a lot of story building, character development, and just an exploration of so many different things, like how we can sometimes push back trauma or avoid it, how whole communities can be affected by trauma, and the issues that can come from not addressing the things that we experience. Just a lot of great themes. I really enjoyed that film. I don't know anything about the release for it at any future date, but just keep your eyes peeled for it. Right now, I'm about to go check out Grind. This is the new film. It's like a horror anthology with Barbara Crampton in it. I'm kind of going in with not knowing too much about it, so excited for that. And I'll come back after and let you know my thoughts.
Right now, when we bring Ray Grant and Dory up to the stage. Come on,
We're just going to talk because it's a small theater. Thank you for being here. It's late. Oh my God, and you're here. What really? I'm Bria Grant of that duo.
I'm Ed Darby of that duo.
And this is an anthology. We wrote it together. I directed 2 segments. Ed directed 2 segments. Chelsea Stardust, who can't be here, directed the opening and closing. Thank you for coming. It's a funny movie. Feel free to laugh. Have a good time. We always encourage that.
It's more of a comedy. I mean, you probably find that out naturally.
You would find it. You want to say something?
I was going to say something because the first segment we made as a short and it premiered here. And I remember when we were here in 2004, going up the escalator, and I was like, isn't life crazy? This was an idea we're developing in the park, and now we're in some weird mall.
That's so true. It's a very DIY movie. We did. It's just the 2 of us. So if you have something nice to say, go say something nice on Letterboxd. It means a lot to us and people who might buy the movie because we need to.
Don't destroy us on Letterboxd.
Please don't destroy us. Don't say anything. Okay? But thank you for coming, and we'll be here afterwards to answer questions if you have any questions.
All right. I was gonna say this is our late night screening. We got some good energy in the crowd, right? Everybody's
We're in New Orleans. You can go to the bar after this for like 4 more hours.
You never have to leave the bar.
You actually can spend the night there.
So I just kind of wanted to start because, you know, like on kind of a fun note, like filmmaking is the kind of thing where you have had a lot of jobs in your life, I'm sure. What is one that springs to mind when you think about the worst job you've ever had in your entire life?
Do you want to start? Can we do one?
I can. No, you start.
People have been asking us this, and I have a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
But I'll. A couple of years ago, I was trying to find something to do, that I could do at night, like at my house, and I started transcribing prison phone calls. And
Why?
So, because you could do it from home, and like I could just, and they were paid. I can't remember how much it paid an hour, but it was really hard to hear them. And I'm not that fast of a typer, and at some point I realized I was making like $2 an hour, so I ended up quitting that.
That's a freelance story for you too. Let's give it up for Ed and Bria, everybody. Thank y'all so much for coming out. We will see you tomorrow.
Vote for us. Say nice things about us. Brighton's international, so you have to know that. Like, we keep saying Brighton's good.
What's up, everybody? Last day here in New Orleans. Last night I finished the night watching Grind. I was a little tired at the end of the night, so I didn't do a recap after the film. But I will say, as far as horror comedies go, I was really impressed. It was a lot of fun. It was witty, genuinely funny. There was moments that were like, laugh out loud funny. Overall, just really enjoyed it. Barbara Crampton was in it. Just great cast, good performances, and yeah, it's exactly what you kind of want to see from a horror comedy. One that has, gore and horrific moments, but actually makes you laugh. So I definitely will recommend Grind pretty heavily. Do a more comprehensive review at some point. But behind me is the Buckner Mansion. You might recognize this because this was in American Horror Story, Coven, and it's better known as Miss Robichaux's mansion. So let me give you guys a look. This is said to be haunted as well. This mansion obviously has some history here. So originally this was built in what year? 1856. So quite old and beautiful. Now it's a private residence. Looks like they got some possible renovations or construction coming up for it. I thought I remember a story about Nicolas Cage owning this for a period of time, but I didn't do a comprehensive look again, but I'm not seeing anything from my quick look. Obviously, private residence, so a lot of keep outs and all that stuff, but yeah, definitely a popular spot for people to come who are fans of the show and want to be able to kind of relive some of the filming locations from it. I just think this is just such a beautiful building in general, so how could you not want to come look at this? But I mean, this is kind of the par for the course with New Orleans. There's a ton of beauty in here. Like I said before, with like the architecture, the history, just it's very cool. So yeah, American Horror Story Mansion, Coven. I won't violate their privacy too much, but from education as the leading cause, the public character its color draws. Food for thought. But yeah, so I'm gonna do one more stop before I end this venture, and I will see you there. Okay, we are entering Lafayette Cemetery number 2. Now there's obviously a ton of cemeteries in New Orleans, but what draws me to this one is just how unkept it is, how taken over by nature this one has been. A lot of the other ones look kind of pristine, and this one clearly not getting a whole lot of love. But there's something very, very beautiful about it as well. Just the flowers, the plants, everything, like the overgrowth on everything is just, I don't know. It's kind of like just thinking about when nature takes over, you know what I mean? mix that with, you know, these beautiful mausoleum style above ground tombs. It's something else. I'd been here actually ages ago, and the reason why this one really stuck out to me, aside from all the overgrowth, was actually there was cracks in some of the mausoleums, so you could actually see inside. And obviously people still visit because there's, you know, some fake flowers, some beads on some of these. But anyways, yeah, so when we came, there was some cracks in some of the mausoleums. You could actually see inside, and you could actually see bones, which was crazy. And one of the things that really stuck out to us was, aside from just seeing some rib cages, we were noticing that there was no skulls. And we ran into a caretaker of the grounds, or maybe I think it's the cemetery next door. We ran into as a caretaker because there's actually a better kept one over there. And he explained that actually people had come in and taken the skulls. So, you know, and now, you know, we've heard stories about people selling them and all that other stuff that's happening around the world. It was just that big case in Pennsylvania, in Lancaster County, with Gerlach and kind of the digging up graves and all that stuff. So we know it happens, but it's wild. And I can actually show you a couple of the spots where you can see the cracks in the things. But I looked the other day and I didn't see anything in there actually. So I'm sure the elements have gotten to things here, but just very, I don't know, something, it's sad, but also kind of beautiful. And I just love that. So we're actually right over here, we have this wall of right here, you know, and just to not be too shocking, I won't put it all the way in there because I don't want to upset anyone, but yeah. And there's another wall, I think. Oh, look at the little cat, little cemetery cat. There's another wall over there where there's a couple of them that are open. There you can see there were some cracks. Some of these they've paved over, some of the ones that were open last time I was here. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys some different things other than just the festival while I was on this trip. Some of the things that I like to do, you know, some of the spots I like to check out. You know, I'd love horror films, but also just travel in general is super fun. And being able to check out, you know, touristy things I enjoy, and, you know, historic things obviously, but I also like finding things a little bit off the beaten path. And that will probably show in, you know, the things that we've been able to see on this trip. So hopefully you've somewhat enjoyed that experience. But yeah, I mean, this was very short, kind of last minute planning this. I think I only had like a few weeks or 3 weeks maybe. I don't even know if even to plan this. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it. So yeah, it's a very short trip, but I had a great time. Overlook Film Festival was super fun. I honestly can't wait to do that one again. I hope that I'm able to make it next year. I hope that I'm invited back next year. Hopefully, you know, I didn't do anything that was egregious, but I don't think so. But just overall, like New Orleans, I really enjoy. This is, I'm hoping that this will become more of a regular thing to be able to visit the city and just explore it in more depth. So back to Overlook, the films I saw just were great. I saw 4 films in the festival in 2 days, and I gotta say, I feel like I just got so lucky. Faces of Death was awesome. That's one you guys can all check out now. But being able to hear the filmmakers' thoughts about it just really added something to it. Obsession, amazing. Can't wait for everybody to check that out. You guys are gonna enjoy that so much. Trauma or Monsters All. I really enjoyed that. I think that there was a great storytelling element to it. Meeting Larry Fessenden and talking to him about it just added to the whole experience of it. If you're a fan of his films, I think this is going to be so special for you guys. And then last night, ending it with Grind, just on a upbeat, positive note. couldn't really have asked for a better experience. And, next year I will be doing more if I am able to come, that's for sure. I know that now. And I know a little bit more what to expect because I didn't know the layout of this. I didn't know kind of, where to go for things. I didn't know how the processes work. So now that I know all that, I definitely feel better about returning next year and just covering the hell out of it. So that was my experience here in New Orleans. I hope that this was somewhat enjoyable or just kind of like, something that can shed a little light on what New Orleans has to offer, as well as the film festival experience. And hopefully you guys try to make it out for this because it's fun. The excitement that everyone has around the films is it's contagious. So thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys later. Have a great day.